Hello everyone, my name is Zhuang Hao. Today I will show you how the products of the Thai companies can be legally sold in the Chinese market. So first of all, we must understanding how foreign products can meet the legal condition for the selling in the Chinese market. The most basic condition is this batch of the goods need to obtain the Chinese custom declaration form and the Chinese inspection and quarantine certificate of entry goods. The picture in the video is the sample for the Chinese custom declaration form and the inspection quarantine certificate. These certificates are the basic for the foreigner enterprises to export goods to Chinese market. In other words, without this certificate, the goods cannot be sold or used on the Chinese market. And there is another condition, that is the product label must be translated in the Chinese and be pasted on the product package. The pictures showing in the video are all from the Thai products sold in the Chinese market, and their package is pasted with the labels translated into the Chinese. The information in the product label is dispensable, and this information has become an important condition for Chinese customers and customs to review this product. So first of all, the Thai company needs to prepare the goods that need to be exported, and then it needs to do the network record on the Chinese custom website. It's just to record some basic information for the enterprises, and it will take about 5 days to complete the record. After the record is success, the enterprises will obtain the record number, and then the enterprises need to find a legal Chinese company as a distributor to sign a trade agreement. Because this is the Chinese law and regulation. If a foreign company wants to put goods on the Chinese market for sale, it needs to find a Chinese distributor to respond the goods. After that, the Thai company needs to prepare documents required for the declaration and inspection, and it's including the document 1 to 10. After the documents are prepared, the company needs to improve the product label and cannot fill in the wrong information on it. It must fill in according to the prepared document and the true situation of the product. After the preparation is complete, the goods can be transported to the Chinese ports, and it will take about 3 or 5 days to transport goods from Thailand to China. When the goods arrive at the Chinese port, the company needs to apply to the Chinese custom for the custom declaration. After the application, the company needs to fill in the declaration form, meaning filling in the applicant's information and the information of the product. After that, the Chinese customs will review the document and sample inspection the goods provided by the applicant. Here are the documents that need to be reviewed. The document 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Here is an important point. For the review of the goods, it's meaning to check whether the label information of the goods is consistent with the submit document, and it will take about 5 days to complete the review. After passing the review, the Chinese custom will guide the applicant to pay the tax, and the HS code according to the product categories can find the current tax rate. The applicant needs to pay the tax within the 15 days. After successful paying tax, the company can get the Chinese custom declaration form for the inbound goods. However, just with the Chinese custom declaration form, This batch of the goods cannot be sold in the Chinese market. It must be inspected and quarantined before it can be legally sold. So the next comes to the inspection and quarantining. After applying for the inspection and quarantine, the applicant needs to fill in the application form for the inspection and quarantine, which is filling in the basic information for the goods and the company. The inspection staff will review the document after filling finish, which including the document 4, 7, 8, 11, and 12. After reviewing the document, the inspection staff will sample the goods for the inspection and quarantine. And it takes about 15 days for the staff to complete the inspection and quarantine, and also issue the inspection and quarantine result and review the result. Here is an important point during the inspection and quarantine. It's mainly to check the ingredients of the products and if there are harmful substances. The inspection and quarantine results are mainly based on the ingredients obtained from the inspection and quarantine, and also the certificate of origin and certificate of hygiene of origin provided by the applicant. The name of additive used is compared with the ingredient list in the product label. If the information is consistent, then can successfully pass the inspection and quarantine. And then the company can get the entry goods inspection and quarantine certificate. Only then can this batch of the goods can legally sold in the Chinese market. In addition to the B2B export process, there is also the B2C export process. Now, I will explain the basic process of cross-border e-commerce export. So first of all, every year the customs will issue an announcement on the internet that allows the use of cross-border e-commerce export product categories, which means that as long as your company's export product category is included in the announcement, then the product can be used the B2C to export. If it's not, it can be exported through cross-border e-commerce. So in the video is the 2018 Chinese customs announcement, which is including the 1,321 categories of the products that are allowed to be exported to China using cross-border e-commerce. So what if your company doesn't know whether your product category is included in the announcement? So the e-commerce company needs to send the goods to the Chinese custom port. And the custom staff will review the type of the goods and record it. If the customs replies that your company product category meets the requirement for the cross-border e-commerce export, then the company needs to contact with the warehouse, payment platform, and logistic company to do the conduct system docking. After successful docking, the goods can be transported to the warehouse. After the warehouse staff receive the goods, they will be taken to the Chinese customs and for the custom declaration. After the Chinese custom declaration is successful, they will be returned to the warehouse. The warehouse staff will sort the goods into the warehouse. At the same time, the product information will be displayed on the e-commerce platform. After the consumer places an order, the e-commerce platform needs to push an order and the item list to the customs system. In the same time, the payment platform and the logistic company will also push the consumer's payment order and logistic order to the customs system. The customs will then review these orders to check whether the information is consistent. After the review is correct, the Chinese custom will notify the warehouse staff and to sort and package the goods. And then the logistic company can transport the goods to the consumers. This is basic process of B2C process. Compared with the B2B process, the B2C process doesn't have required to prepare labels and other extensive documents. And the overall process is much simpler. However, the goods imported through the B2C process can only be sold online and cannot be sold offline. In the B2B process, as long as the goods have obtained the Chinese custom declaration form and the inspection certificate, then the goods can be sold online and offline in the Chinese market. So far, it can be explained that the two processes have their own advantage and disadvantage. If your company's products are not well known in the Chinese market, you can choose to export them through the B2C process for online selling. After they are well known in the Chinese market, then can export through the B2B process for online and offline double model selling in the Chinese market. If your company wants to apply for Chinese custom declaration form and inspection certificate, you need to learn more about the application process, and in the preparation stage, you need to spend much time and work hard to prepare the documents and ensure that the information is consistent. Because once one of the links goes wrong, the entire application activities will be failed, and the goods will be returned, and a lot of money will be lost. Thank you for your watching this video. Hope this video can help you a lot. See you next time.